Hey guys, Crypto Dad here again. Thanks for joining me here on New Year's Eve for the live stream from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. We'll talk about Bitcoin. We'll talk about the news. We'll talk about altcoins. I'm going to move some crypto around for you guys and give you a bunch of great wallet tips. And I'll do my very best to get to your questions. I'll kind of take it easy tonight and just try to watch the stream and make sure I get all your questions answered. So let's get this party started. All right, so welcome everybody. I'm here with the rig and my trusty gaming monitor behind me. My dad got me a really cool Bitcoin kind of well, it's kind of hard to explain, but it goes on the wall. It's kind of metallic and it lights up. But where I want to hang it behind me on the wall here, the cord isn't long enough to reach something that I can plug it into, so I had to buy a USB extender. It's got like a USB thing on there. But I'll get it up this week, and you guys can check it out next week. I'll have it behind me. It's pretty cool. It's just like a Bitcoin logo that lights up. It's pretty nice. Welcome and happy New Year's Eve to everyone. I wish everyone the best for a new year, 2023 coming up, a prosperous year, a year where you get closer to your family and your God and your community. I wish everyone the best for our new year coming up. As far as the crypto market goes, we'll see. Let's focus more on ourselves than the get-rich-quick schemes. We'll see how things go. But like I said, I'm glad everyone's here. It's New Year's Eve, and we'll get together and spend some time here together talking about crypto. Let's jump into the news real quick so we can get that thing going. I was just watching last week's, it was 2 weeks ago, and I was pretty sick. I'm not sick anymore. I feel much better, so that's a blessing. The blizzard came through. We were having fun on Christmas Eve, so I didn't do the live stream. But we had plenty of snow, and now it's pretty much melted off. Dan can attest to that. But Dan might be watching the Michigan game tonight, so he may not be as active as usual, but that's cool. It's a Michigan game. We're playing, I believe we're playing our arch enemies, Ohio State. I don't know what it is between Michigan and Ohio State, but it's a long-standing rivalry. And it's kind of people in Michigan make fun of people in Ohio and vice versa. It's kind of funny. Anyway, let's see. Let's go over to the big screen over here. For those of you who may not be aware, there was a brief border war between Michigan and Ohio in the early days, in the 1800s. No shots were, well, let's say, I think there were shots fired, but no one was injured. And the militias gathered and, into their opposing camps, but there may have been some shots up in the air, but there wasn't any real blood. There was no blood spilled, but it was a dispute. It was a territorial dispute over a little area, which includes Toledo. And I guess the government, the U.S. government stepped in and awarded Michigan the Upper Peninsula in exchange for them giving up their claim to the Toledo area of Ohio. So it came out in the best of it. Let's, I want to, first of all, thank everyone for being here. Kenneth Wiedner, always here early, giving me lots of encouragement. I appreciate it. Mr. Miskey, thanks for being here. JDO, it's good to have you here tonight as moderator. Hannah, 350. Good. Thank you for being here. Simon, wonderful to have you. Joanne L, as always. Dave Flowers. A lot of regular viewers tonight. It's always nice to have you guys here. You give me a lot of incentive to keep this thing going. Tom Brawley, Fabian Harpool, Ty, thanks for your help this year, especially understanding the Legend Nano X. Thank you. I appreciate that. Birds, bees, and trees. Happy New Year to you. Allure from France. Thank you. Happy New Year. Happy MT. Hello. I'm doing good. Thank you. Fabian, videos helped. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. Kano 8019. Good to have you. E. Poston. Dave is here. Ooh, people are jumping in. Yay. Scott is here. Paulo Foga from Brazil. Wow. A lot of people jumping in. I really appreciate you spending your New Year's Eve with me. We're only going to be doing it for a couple hours. So there's plenty of time after that to celebrate the new year. So let's go ahead and jump into the news now that I've thanked everybody. Wait a minute. Let me throw the chat over on the other monitor so that I can keep an eye on the window as I'm doing the news. In case something crazy happens, like the mic mutes or something. So this the lead-in story is not what I normally do, like a market wrap, what's been going on, and I didn't really find one on CoinDesk. Not a lot of action occurring in the crypto market over the last week, because it's in between the holidays. So if there's going to be any big moves, we'll probably see them next week or into January, if anything, right? So most of what we're looking at right now, news-wise, is recap. So this is just kind of an opinion story where they ask all of the editors and contributors to the CoinDesk website for their opinion on what's going to happen in 2023. And so it's a pretty decent article. If you have never been in the live stream before, you may not realize that all of the articles that I talk about are covered down in the description below the video. You just click show more and you'll see what's going on. So down below here, you've got all these news stories linked. I've got a bunch of affiliate links, and then I've got an agenda, a numbered agenda of things we're going to try to cover tonight that are near and dear to me. And we'll talk about those. But first, we'll jump into the news. So each of these opinion, mostly about crypto regulation, and a recap of the year. It's been a hard year for the crypto market and cryptocurrencies in general. We had the collapse of Luna, which was bad. We had the Three Arrows Capital. We had Celsius bankruptcy. And then, of course, recently we had the FTX meltdown, which was ranked as the second or third largest cryptocurrency, estimated at like in the billions, 16 billion, and went down to less than zero in the matter of days. So I got a couple of stories about FTX, but most of them are, talking about how those factors will probably lead to more regulation in the new year. Although it will take a little bit, month or so, for the new Congress to get settled in and start really facing up to crypto regulation, right? So there's quite a few good opinions here about what's going to happen in the new year. I won't go into them in excruciating detail. I want to talk about this story here, FBI investigating 3 commas data breach. Now, basically what was happening was 3 commas. I'd never heard of 3 commas, but it's a Eastern European cryptocurrency service Now, I see a lot of these, and I get a lot of offers from companies similar to this to endorse them on my channel, and I always pass on these kind of companies. Basically, they're trading bot. So, and I always shy away from that. I try to cover education. I don't do much of the investing side of it, but I do talk about, security and making purchases and transferring and that sort of thing. But what these companies do, what 3 Commas does or did, is they were a trading bot. In other words, you would take your hard-earned money and just deposit it into their coffers, and they would trade for you, right? I mean, you get your own account, so it's not like you're just handing your money to them, but you would surrender control of the account to their trading bots. And they would trade for you based on algorithms, and supposedly we're going to make you a bunch of money. Now, one of the ways that they did this was through APIs on exchanges. So if you had a BINANCE account or a Binance US account or a KuCoin account, you gave them access through an API, which is basically... it's something that it's a piece of software that you install on into your cryptocurrency exchange account, right? So you can, this is KuCoin, for example, we can go to API management, and I don't want to do it because I think I do have a couple of APIs set up, and I don't want to reveal those keys to you, even the public ones, but I don't think it would, but when you go into the API management, you'll grant access to services. For example, I grant access to cointracker.io to download my account history for my taxes, right? My tax purposes. But I have never installed an API that gave trading access, right? The APIs that I install for the tax services are all read-only, right? They only allow these services to read my history so that they can generate tax information for me. So when you set up an API and you grant trading access, that means that whoever the service that's running that you've granted it access can actually make trades in your account. And so that's kind of sketchy to begin with. And what happened with this particular company was that someone, an outsider or an insider, leaked data from the API. So basically, they leaked out the API keys, which made it possible for anyone that saw those keys to actually go in and start controlling those APIs and start making trades. And so several customers complained that there were trades made without their approval, and some of those trades actually, took money out of the accounts, right? And so, first of all, I'll say that if you haven't figured it out by now, I'm not a huge fan of trading bots, even when they work right, because you're just handing over control of your crypto. Number two, this requires you to leave most of your investments on exchanges because the trading is occurring on exchanges. So you're not really practicing good self-custody when you use these trading bots. And number three, this information about the keys were leaked out to the public, right? And so anyone that saw this information took advantage of it and was able to hack into these. We call it a hack. It's not really a hack when you think of a hack as penetrating with hacking software. In this case, the details of all this information were leaked out. So anybody with, a modicum of computer skills was able to, take advantage of this vulnerability and make trades and, drain some of these accounts, right? So the FBI is investigating. I don't know how much the FBI can do. I think 3Com's Data is a foreign company, but whenever you're dealing with U.S. customers, you can fall under the purview of U.S. regulators, right? So we'll see what happens with that. So cautionary tale about that. And then I just saw this story as we were coming up. BlackRock gives bankrupt Bitcoin miner Core Scientific new $17 million loan. So Bitcoin miners are suffering along with the rest of the crypto community because Bitcoin mining is a big upfront capital investment. You have to buy equipment, you have to rent space, you have to pay electrical bills, you have to provide cooling. I mean, there's a lot of capital investment that goes and overhead that goes into Bitcoin mining. And with the price of Bitcoin down from its highs, the mining is not as profitable. So a lot of these companies were leveraging themselves to get more equipment to take advantage of the Bitcoin bull run. And now that we're in a crypto winter, they're in trouble. But what's interesting about this is that BlackRock has come to the rescue, right? BlackRock being one of the largest investment private equity firms, like it's this huge private equity firm that is about as mainstream financial as you can get. And here they are recognizing the significance of Bitcoin mining. So if that doesn't tell you that Bitcoin is on the right track, I don't know what does, right? Don't listen to what the bankers and the regulators and the powers that be say about Bitcoin. Look at what they do. So this is a good example of a mainstream financial firm getting in when prices are low and things, when most people are shying away, they're putting their money where their mouth is. Right. So interesting story there. The headline pretty much says it all. Right. And also an FTX related story, which is kind of new and offers a little bit of hope. Regulators in the Bahamas are holding $3.5 billion in FTX customer assets. They were concerned over the security of the assets, and the authorities took control of them. Now, they don't say in this article how they managed to do this. They aren't very specific because the first paragraph is, okay, well, we took custody of FTX deposits. So I don't know, are they talking about bank deposits? They must be, right? And then right after they say that, they start talking about tokens being stolen from the exchange. Now, that's wallet-related stuff. So I don't think the Securities Commission of the Bahamas had the wherewithal to actually take control of the private keys of the wallets that FTX was using to store their crypto. I'm assuming that FTX had a bunch of money on deposit in the bank that they took control of. It's possible that the facilities were raided by the police in the Bahamas, and somehow they were able to secure the crypto assets in that respect. But they don't really go into any details about how they were able to take custody of these assets. I'm just going to assume they were bank deposits, right? But this is good news because it might mean that some of the people that lost money in the FTX meltdown might actually get some of their money back, right? That's a pretty good chunk of change there. But you have to remember that FTX was valued at over 12 billion. So we'll see. I don't know. I thought that number was thrown around a little bit. So we'll see. But that's pretty good news. And let's see, another article. I like this picture here. I'm 59 years old, right? And the original 3 Star Wars, came out in, like, the first one was 77. And this one, which is alluding to the Emperor from Return of the Jedi, came out in 1983. So a lot of people may not get this picture, but that is definitely the Emperor. There he is on his partially constructed Death Star. So yeah, so FTX founder Sam Sam Bankman-Fried was freed on bail and put on house arrest at his mommy and daddy's house. And apparently he's no one thought to restrict him from using computers. So now he's checking his couch cushions for, about $1 million worth of crypto, right? Guy was worth 12 billion. So, he can scrounge around in his wallets looking for, $684,000 worth of crypto, which he cashed out, which he says cashed out to an exchange in shekels. I don't know what that means. If he's on house arrest at his parents' house, did he have a bank in the shekels? And did he transfer the crypto to a shekels-based exchange and then cash out to that bank? Or did he... I don't know what he did, to be honest with you, but somehow it says he cashed out. So, yeah, you would think that someone in his position would have been restricted from computer access, right, by the judge, the terms, but apparently not. It's like, oh, we're just going to let you out of jail, have a nice time at your parents' house, visiting for the holidays, and, if you think you need some money, just jump in there. And this is a guy who owes, thousands of people millions, if not billions of dollars, and, now he's like grabbing money for his own self. So not a good look, right? Not a good look at all. We talked about this situation and this trial. Interesting thing about this article is that it shows just how transparent the blockchain is, right? Anybody can look at the blockchain, and there's not much he can do to hide these transactions, right? Because his Ethereum wallet address is known, and so people can track what's going on in and out of that wallet on the blockchain. Pretty cool. And I did want to talk a little bit about Solana. People have been asking me, a lot of people have been asking me about Solana. They always say, oh, do you think it's going to come back? Like I said, I don't do coin evaluations, but this is kind of a big story. Solana was associated with FTX, and I guess FTX had a big stake in them. And so when FTX crashed, I guess a lot of the funding for what goes on at Solana was lost. So people have been selling Solana down 97% from its peak. It was down around $8. Now it's up to around 10. But at its all-time high, it was 267. So this article states that it could recover 50%. That's not that much. If we're talking about where it is now, 50% more than that. If let's say it's 10, that means it might go up to $15. That's not, going to help anybody that bought in, when it was over 200. But the guy that runs it, I'm not sure what his name is. Okay, Anatoly Yakovenko, the co-founder of Solana, clarified that nearly 80% of projects on Solana blockchain had no exposure at all to FTX. There were a few big coin projects that were built on the Solana project that were basically got their angel funding or whatever you want to call it, angel investor funding from FTX. So, you know, that no one can pay the developers now or the management or anyone else on these. Serum being one of them. I remember I saw that when they first talked about FTX's big holdings, they had this huge chunk of Serum. Serum is a project on the Solana blockchain. Solana developers are forking Serum after it may have been compromised in a hack on FTX exchange. Ugh. Yeah. FTX was holding a lot of Serum. They thought they made a big bet on it and lost big time. Okay, so that's the news. Let's see. Oops. I'm trying to make this thing bigger here if I can. I'm not having much luck. Okay, there it goes. RJ Bizzle, 1984. Thanks for being here tonight. Scott, always good comments from Scott about the powers that be. 10 a.m. January 1st here. Happy birthday. Oh, Happy New Year. G-Man No Name. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. We are the last people to hit the New Year here in the U.S. I don't know if it's the L.A. Time zone or not, but I didn't really realize how the day progressed until the year 2000, if you are old enough to remember that big celebration when it was 1999, December 31st. We were about to roll over to the year 2000. Back then I still watched television, and they started early in the day going through all of the New Year celebrations, and it started over in the South Pacific. There's some island there, and then they showed Sydney, Australia, and then the day rolled across the world until it got to the U.S. So yeah, those of you over in Asia and Europe may have already passed that New Year's point. So welcome to the new year, everyone. Okay. JDO was in network support in 2000 and stayed at work for the new year. Right. Yeah, there were a lot of, everyone thought that the world might end over the Y2K bug because most of the early program coding was done, and they only allotted 2 digits for the year because space was crucial back in those early days of 60s and 70s. But a lot of that code base was still around in the year 2000. So the developers had to go back in and kind of port the code over with allotting for a larger space for the year, right? Because they were just using like 65, 75, 85, 95. And then when they got to 1999, it was 99, right? When it rolled over, there was no extra digit there. So that was what everyone thought was going to crash the world, but it ended up not happening. Thanks to JDO, who worked that day. Okay. So we got through the news. Let's look at what I wanted to talk about tonight. I had some people telling me that Ledger Nano X or the Ledger devices were having some issues with the latest update of Ledger Live. I did not have any issues, but let's play around with it and see what happens. I'll go ahead and connect my Ledger Nano X. Let's take a look and see what happens when I connect it. I didn't see an update. I've got my device. I'm going to go ahead and connect it. There's always updates, but the last one I remember was maybe a week or so ago to a new version of Ledger Live. But I didn't have any issue. But the issue that I was getting reports of was that someone said that they were told to update their apps on their device, and then the device crashed or something of that nature. And this was in my YouTube comments for one of my videos. And then someone else agreed, and said, yes, this is a known issue with Ledger and they're working on it. But it didn't happen to me. So let's pull in the camera over here. Let's get this in like this and see what we can do here. Okay. Whoops. There we go. So I'm going to allow Ledger Manager by clicking both buttons. I updated my Ethereum app earlier today on a different device. So, but maybe that was really an old, I hadn't updated that device in a while. But apparently this device does not need an update. So I wasn't experiencing that issue at all. So I can't really demonstrate it. But I'm just going to check the chat window here real quick. Are you sure we can't just keep everything on Coinbase custody? Even if you're using Coinbase, there's nothing wrong with keeping your crypto on an exchange if that's what you want, right? There's no law against it. I just advocate self-custody because that's where crypto got its start, and that's the safest and most secure way to hold your crypto assets. Now, even having said that, even if Coinbase custody, which they claim are cold wallets that are not connected to the internet, is safe and secure from hackers or mistakes or glitches or whatever, you still have, there are still risks involved even with a perfectly executed Coinbase custody. What if Coinbase goes bankrupt? Like FTX. It's not unheard of, right? I don't think it's going to happen, but what if, right? What if the government decides to seize your assets? If they go to Coinbase with a subpoena and a court order, Coinbase won't have any choice but to release the assets to the government. That has happened in South Korea. The government has seized crypto assets from people that owed them money. In this case, it was back taxes, but you never know. It could be child support. It could be alimony payments. It could, there's a million, or back taxes. There are a million reasons, not a million, but there are reasons why the government might seize your assets if they're held on an exchange, right? So why tempt fate? Keep your crypto in your own wallet. Like I said, if you want to keep your assets there, that's great. But I tend to advocate self-custody. Let's see. So that's why I wouldn't keep my assets in crypto Coinbase custody. I made $32 bonus for Y2K, bought a Porsche Boxster, and still have it. Yeah, that's cool, John B. If Coinbase or any exchange goes under, you'll be waiting for years to get assets. Yes, JDO. Safest way to store cryptos. Buy silver and bury it in your garden. That's another good one, Scott. The King. I have a Ledger X. If I get Ledger Stax, I put my 24 phrase in, and then I would have two wallets, or is it just to the Ledger Stax? No, you would have two wallets. You would have mirror wallets. I did a video on that quite a number of years back. If I can... by the way, I did drop a video this week about, I'm going to turn this off for a second. Whoops. I did drop a video this week about the Crypto.com Holly Jolly referral program, which is going on now. If you want to take advantage of those referral bonuses. Let's see here. Ledger mirror. How to create a ledger backup pack to create a... Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So yeah, so this one is a much more recent example of a mirror backup. So not too long ago, Ledger was offering a special deal on the mirror backup pack, which is basically just a bundle of 2 Ledger devices, the Ledger Nano X and the Ledger Nano S Plus. And I go through all of the steps on how you create a mirror backup. So if you set up a Ledger device, it gives you a 24-word recovery phrase, right, in case you lose your device. You can get a replacement device and do a restore and get all your crypto back. But you can also take that restore phrase and restore a secondary device even while you're still using your main device, right? And then you will have 2 devices that are mirror images of each other. And you can even swap them in and out of Ledger Live, and they'll both work, right? As far as Ledger Live is concerned, they're the same device. So you could go into one of your accounts and do a receive with one device connected, and it would work. And then you could disconnect that one, connect the mirror device, and then do the same thing, and it would still work. Same account, everything. Because the devices are mirror images of each other. They both are using the same key, master private key. So all the wallets would also be the same as far as the key goes. So, but what I wanted to talk about, this whole idea of, okay, my device got messed up and reset. Okay, I think someone said, oh, my device got reset. So I wanted to talk a little bit tonight about recovering your crypto in different scenarios. Now, I know it's really gut-wrenching and scary when you feel like you may have lost access to your crypto. I know it's a horrible feeling. I've lost crypto before through my own mistakes, and I understand the feeling. But I've never lost huge amounts to those types of mistakes. But I can understand that feeling if your life savings was stored on a Ledger device and you sat down at your computer and all of a sudden everything goes haywire, right? You can't access your crypto. So I want to talk about, what to do in those types of situations. Now, the first thing I'll say about this is that if you have your 24-word recovery phrase written down and stored in a safe place, there is no way you will lose any of your crypto, right? You have your backup. The backup phrase, the 24-word backup phrase, can be used to restore a different device to regain access to your crypto. So, as long as you have that 24-word recovery phrase, you have not lost a thing, right? So always remember that when things go haywire, right? But there are 2 categories that I'd like to talk about and want to make a distinction between so that people can understand it a little better. I get a lot of panicked questions in my comments and in email, and they go, oh, I lost my crypto. I can't find my crypto. There are 2 categories. One category is that, yes, something happened. The device reset for whatever reason, either a glitch or you accidentally entered the PIN incorrectly, or you were trying to update the firmware and it glitched out and it reset, right? That's a device issue. The other category is the software side of things. People sit down at their computer and something has happened on their computer. I know sometimes when Windows doesn't boot up right, you end up in like safe mode, or it doesn't recognize your existing Windows account and kind of creates a new like empty Windows account where none of your software works. That's kind of an odd happening, but that can happen. But the most common of those is I just got a new computer and I just installed Ledger Live, and oh my God, my crypto's gone. Or I just got a new phone and I migrated all my phone settings over, opened up Ledger Live, my crypto's gone. So those are software issues. If your device is intact, and this is an intact device, let me just demonstrate that for you. If you turn on your device and you see the home screen of the device with all Thanks, Dan. Thanks, Dan. Yeah, I got it. I touched my mic. Man, everybody still with me? How long was I out? God damn it. Oh my God. Why is it that every time I tap my mic, I'm not looking at the screen? I was looking at that screen forever. Oh my God. Oh. My last record was 20 minutes. How long was I out? I like the picture of New York. Now, if someone steals your seed phrase, that's a whole different ball of wax, right? I'm just talking about a situation where you've lost access to your Ledger Live. So we'll stick with the simple case here. So the simple case is go ahead and say you've got a Ledger Nano and don't choose first time. Say, I've already got a phrase and I've already got my device set up, right? I don't need to restore my device. My device is fine. It's just Ledger Live got messed up or I'm on a new computer. Just connect the device to your computer, hit connect your Nano, and it'll do a check. I can't see this. Okay, there. Right? And it does the genuine check and everything's fine. All right? Now all you have to do is start adding your accounts one by one. Start with Bitcoin, right? Actually, let's start with Ethereum because that Bitcoin takes a while. So, you just start adding your accounts one by one. Actually, I need to get out of this. Let's try this again. I just want to do the simple case first. Try not to touch this frigging mic. Yeah, I don't know if I put like a... I'll open the Ethereum app. Now, yes, this is tedious, right? You have to, it takes patience. But if your device is intact, all you have to do is connect your device and go into Ledger Live, tell it you already have the device set up, and start adding accounts one by one, right? I think this is what I call H, and this is what I call main. It doesn't matter, really. But note, the crypto is there, right? I haven't lost anything. Let's do this. Let's go to accounts. Yeah, okay. Right, that's the right account. Oh, look, they gave me... oh, I think I already had that last... But anyway, so there, the accounts are there. And then all I have to do is go through and start adding all of the other crypto assets that were already there. Let's do the XRP, right? So the point I'm trying to make here, and it wants me to open the XRP app, is that if you lose access to Ledger Live and your device is intact, there is no reason to panic. There is no reason to start restoring your device. You don't need to restore the device. The device is set up. All you have to do is start adding, go into Ledger Live, start adding accounts, and you'll get all your crypto back. Your crypto was never really gone, right? Now, another little trick that I've talked about before is, let's say you are on a new computer and you've just installed Ledger Live on the new computer, and you want to do this a quick and easy way. You could take the Ledger Live folder from your old computer and copy it over to, like take that, copy it over onto a secondary drive. Whoops, I grabbed too many. What happened there? Okay, all right, doesn't matter. I grabbed more than one folder, but that's not a big deal. All right, so I've taken the Ledger Live, or maybe, yeah, I guess I did. I've taken the Ledger Live folder and copied it onto a USB drive. And then I can go over to my new computer and put in that, let's get rid of this guy. I can go over to that new computer and drag this Ledger Live folder from my old computer into the roaming folder, replace that newly created empty Ledger Live folder. And then when I launch Ledger Live, all of the accounts are there, right? So if you're migrating to a new computer, that's a little less tedious, right? As you can see here, all of the accounts are back just in a flash because I just drug the preferences folder over. I don't want you to get the idea that the crypto was in that folder, because I think that's what causes the panic with most people. They think the crypto is on their computer. Well, it's not. It's on the blockchain. And the Ledger device is a keychain that unlocks those addresses. The preferences folder stores the public wallet information, so it is quicker than going through and adding accounts one by one. Now, the other scenario is that perhaps you have migrated your data over from the phone, right? And so when you open your Ledger Live, you're horrified to find that it has none of your crypto assets are there. And as far as I know, there's no kind of folder or preference or anything that you can transfer over from the old phone. Basically, this is a device dependent type thing, right? So what you're going to have to do, and I can do this with Bluetooth. I don't need to have the cable connected. Just so I can show you. I could have left the cable in. All right, I'm going to get out. All right, so in this case, I have my Ledger device. It's intact, but when I migrated all of my apps over onto my phone, the wallet information did not, right? So what we need to do is we'll go through, say I own the Ledger. I don't need to set up my Ledger, right? I've already done that. Sync with desktop app. I could do that, but let's just assume that I'm the type of person that is only using the phone, right? I don't have a desktop version of Ledger Live. So let's do Explore Ledger Live. Ugh, what is this? Ugh, are you kidding me? Oh, okay, there. Okay, now explore without a device. All right. So what I need to do is go down here to the My Ledger section. If I can get this thing in camera. And once you receive your device, set up my device. Okay. We're basically doing the same thing, but this time we're pairing the device to the phone. Ledger Nano X. Now, I already have a recovery phrase, right? My device is already set up. So all I want to do here is connect my Ledger Nano. Okay, they're warning me not to use a device that's already been set up. All right, let's go ahead and pair it up. It says pair with Bluetooth. It sees the device, right? We'll just tap that. All right, and what we should see, hopefully. Oh, it didn't even take me through the pairing setup, right? Because the device had been previously paired. So on a new phone, it probably would have taken you through the entire pairing process where you'll see a number on your phone and a number on your device, and you have to confirm on both devices. But in my case, it was previously paired, so it just kind of repaired, right? So now I have empty wallets. Jeez. All right, so all I need to do to get the wallets back in my Ledger Live is start adding accounts one by one. Now, if you had a copy of the, see, now it wants me to open the Ethereum device. If you had a copy of Ledger Live on your desktop, you can export that. But I'm just doing the scenario of the user that always just used a phone and the Ledger device. They bought their new phone, they migrated their data over, and to their horror, they discovered that the accounts weren't on the new phone, right? So this is all you have to do. Just reconnect the device through Bluetooth and start adding accounts one by one. just like I was doing over on the other thing. Right, we'll just hit continue here. You can't name the accounts until you've actually set them up. Whoops. Sorry about that. Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's showing I have those two. And you would have to go through each of your accounts one by one. So I guess the point I'm trying to make is that if you lose access to Ledger Live, then your device has everything you need to like re-access the accounts, right? And a lot of people get confused about that. They think, oh, I got to run out and restore my device. They really don't need to. It really isn't going to hurt anything if they do, because if they have their 24-word recovery phrase, it will just restore it to the state it was in before. But there's really no need to restore the device. If all that's happened is you've lost access to your Ledger Live on your phone or on your desktop, right? Everything you've got. Now, the second category that I talked about was what if something does happen to the device? And so I'm going to take this little device here. I got another Ledger device over here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to enter the PIN incorrectly 3 times just by clicking the buttons. All right. So I've entered an invalid PIN 3 times in a row, and now the device is going to restart. Now, if you're updating the firmware or you're updating apps in Ledger Live or I can't think of, or you accidentally entered the PIN incorrectly 3 times, you're going to be confronted with this screen. This screen is a lot different than just losing access to Ledger Live. But also keep in mind that if you have an intact copy of Ledger Live and you're confronted with this, your Ledger Live is fine. You don't need to do anything to Ledger Live. A lot of people get all weird and start doing crazy stuff with Ledger Live. They don't need to, because the account information has not been touched in Ledger Live. Your device got screwed up. So in this case, we need to do a restore of the device. So when you have a reset device or a brand new device, this is what you'll see. So if you get to this point, then at this point, yes, you need to restore the device, because this is what it looks like in factory new condition. Now, a lot of people make this mistake. They get to this screen and they think, I need to set my device up again, so I'm going to set it up, because this says set up device, right? They don't see that last little part that says set up as new device, right? They just see set up device, right? And then they do this and it gives them a brand new recovery phrase, and now they're just like way off in left field, right? You don't want to set up the device as new. What you want to do is scroll one past that to restore from recovery phrase, right? And once you click both buttons, it's going to ask you to pick a PIN, and then you'll have to dig out your 24-word backup phrase and enter it onto the device to restore the device. You would do this with your own device if somehow it got reset to factory, or if you your original device was totally whacked, not working at all, or lost or stolen, then you got a replacement device. You would do the restore from backup, right? And once you've got that done, then the device will be back in its pre-state, right? The only difference The only snag after a restore is that it doesn't know to reinstall all the apps that you had on there before, right? But that's not a big deal, because let's just assume that I restored this device. All right, and we're in my ledger here. Let's go over to apps installed. Let's just start deleting the apps. It might take it a few minutes, but let's just assume that we did a restore, and when we were done with the restore, we were overjoyed that we had gained access to our crypto. But we were horrified to see that there were no apps installed on our device. That's because the device doesn't remember the apps that were on there. It just restores the private key, but it doesn't remember which apps were on there before, right? That's your job. But it's not that hard of a job if your Ledger Live is intact. Let me see if thing'll. Let's see if I'll just get. Oh, okay. So we got the Ethereum off. Okay. All right. Come on, baby. Okay. So we got this newly restored device. Why is the Ethereum app still on there? Oh, it's okay. Yeah, I'll go ahead and. I would delete them all right now, but it would just take too long. I'm just going to delete the big ones so you can get a feel for what happens here. So you restore your device and you look at it and there's no apps on there. And so you think, oh, my crypto's all gone again. You think, oh, where'd my crypto go? Well, okay, good. We can go over into Ledger Live and connect the device to the computer. And let's start with this Bitcoin main, right? The account is still in Ledger Live, right? Remember, the only thing that happened was I lost my device or reset my device. I've done the full restore, but I have no apps on there. Just pretend you don't see those other apps, right? All I have to do is connect the device, go into my account, hit receive to double check. And what's it going to do? Oh, you want to check to see if your Bitcoin account matches up? All right. Well, let me install Bitcoin for you. Right? So this makes it pretty easy. Just go through each of your accounts, do a quick receive to verify the device. And once it's installed, you open it up. And it shows me the address on the device, and it shows me the address in Ledger Live. Same thing with Ethereum, right? I'll go over to my Ethereum account, open it up, do a receive, right? It's going to tell me to open up. Actually, it's going to, oh, okay, your device is empty. There's no Ethereum app. Let me install that for you, right? So, when you're confronted with a newly restored device that has no apps on there, all you have to do is go into your Ledger Live and start checking balances, right? Do a receive to verify the device, or try to send, either way, right? We'll just open the Ethereum app. It's going to check it, and off it goes. Okay, looks like I'm getting behind here. Oh, pops, he did it again. 2 or 3 minutes. Okay. It wasn't as bad. Notice I see the, I can look at the address on my device and approve. And when I do this, it automatically reinstalls the proper app for all of the accounts. So I just go through every single account that I have, and I have quite a few, but you may only have 4 or 5 or whatever, or 2 or 3 or whatever. Just click each account, do a receive, and verify the device, right? I don't know if I uninstalled XRP. Nope. So XRP was already there. But if it wasn't, it would have reinstalled it for me. All right. I'm done with all of that. Oh, okay. Go over here. There's the address verification. All right. So to recap, to restore crypto, you need to determine the category of your lost access. Category 1, software issue with Ledger Live on your phone or on your computer. Category 2 is the device is messed up. And so in either of those scenarios, the other part is intact, right? So if the device got messed up and Ledger Live is intact, all you need to do is restore the device. If Ledger Live gets messed up and the Ledger device is fine, then all you have to do is reacquire your accounts in Ledger Live, either on your phone or on your computer. Your device does not need to be altered in any way. It's got everything already on there. All right, so let me go through the chat window and see if I can get caught up. I don't know. I've been through all this with the mic. It's just I think there is a way to have it warn me when it goes to mute, but it wasn't trivial, right? It wasn't like, oh, it just flip a switch in the settings. No, it was like I had to do some kind of script to make it happen. I mean, it was just like not intuitive. So I just like, lost sound. No lost sound on Saturday streams. That's a good resolution. All right. This channel is awesome. Many YouTube streamers ask for donations. I think using crypto would be a good way to give anonymous donations without governments. No. Paulo. Very nice sentiment, but crypto, Bitcoin is not anonymous. It is pseudonymous. There is no name attached to it by default. I have a wallet, you have a wallet, but it is not anonymous, right? So if you're... it's really hard to be anonymous in today's society anyway, but if you send crypto to me, it probably will go unnoticed, but it's not anonymous. Anyone can look on the blockchain and see which wallet sent to any other wallet. Right? So it's not really anonymous, but I get the sentiment there without the government knowing. Well, the government will be able to find out if they wanted to, right? That's the issue at hand, is it not? Right? Is with the government regulation and everything else. Ledger with Terra Station doesn't seem to work. Am I wrong? I think it does still work, Terra Station. I don't know why you would want to make it work, unless you're just speculating with Terra Luna. But as far as I'm concerned, it's a worthless cryptocurrency. So I don't know why anyone would want to mess with it, but I think you can still, it's still functional if you connect your ledger to Terra Station. I've done it not too long ago. Actually, I would never trust the exchange hiding usernames in such cases. Better use a wallet. Paul Wiener is here. Hi, Rex. The best New Year's Did I receive my tips? Yes, I think I did. I think you sent me one a while back in the comments, although sometimes I miss the ones in the comments. And if you did send me a tip in the comments, I really do appreciate it. But, you know, when I was sick last week, I didn't even sit down in front of the computer for like several days, you know, and then with the blizzard and all, sometimes I don't go in and check my comments, and they get, you know, they get lost in the shuffle, right? When I sit down after having been off the computer for several days, all I see are like the most recent comments. So if you did tip me in the comments, I really appreciate it, Paul. Let's see. Once XRP pumps and our cryptos are in a cold wallet, how will we sell if we want to sell a small percentage? Well, you just transfer back to the exchange from your wallet, right? We've talked about this. It's really easy. If you're going to do self-custody and store your crypto in a wallet, then it shouldn't just end there. You should be adept at transferring it to and from exchanges. So if you have some XRP in your wallet that you would like to send, look at that, there's a send button, right? So the wallet has a receive and a send button. Wallets or crypto wallets were meant to be used to transfer crypto in and out, right? That was the founding principle of Bitcoin, was that I can send it to someone across the room or across the world with equal ease. And I don't have to go through financial channels, right? We talked about, is it anonymous? That's not really that important. What's important is that I can send Bitcoin from my wallet to your wallet, and I don't have to wait for banking hours. I don't have to go through SWIFT or Western Union or pay fees or wait 3 days or have the transaction get held up in customs somewhere along the chain so that by the time you get the money that I sent, it's been 5 days, right? That's traditional, right? With a Bitcoin wallet, I can send you crypto from here to there, no problem. And the same goes for the question about what do I do if I want to sell some of my XRP? Well, then you send some of it back to the exchange, right? Go over to your exchange, right? You go here to your XRP, wherever it went. It was at the top. Right? You make a deposit. Yeah. That you're going to need the tag. You're going to need both of these, right? But then you go back to, you get your address. You go to your wallet. You send. There's the main address. You need the tag when you're sending to an exchange. So you grab the tag, right? All right. And then, okay, how much do you want to send? Well, you mentioned a small percentage, right? You can't really do percentages here, but you can say, okay, well, I'll just send 300 of these, whatever percentage that works out to, right? And I can send this XRP from my wallet to the exchange, and then I can trade it, right? Right? And the XRP fees are really low. I won't do it, but I could if I wanted to. And I get that question a lot. That's a very common question. What happens to the crypto in my wallet if the price changes? Does it stay the same, or does the price change? Well, the answer is it changes. The price, if the price of your asset changes, then your asset value changes as well, right? So if I put $100 worth of Bitcoin in my wallet and the price of Bitcoin goes up, then now that $100 worth of Bitcoin is maybe worth $120 worth of Bitcoin, right? All I have to do if I want to realize that gain is send it back to the exchange and sell it, right? So we need to be adept at not only storing crypto in our wallet, but also sending crypto when we need to, right? We want to be able to use crypto in both, send and receive. We need to practice both, right? I could be sending Bitcoin to a friend. I could be sending Bitcoin to a service that actually accepts Bitcoin. There are some places where you can actually make purchases directly with Bitcoin. I hope that would happen more and more. We might see coffee shops with Bitcoin QR codes that say, you can buy a cup of coffee if you send us, $3 worth of Bitcoin or whatever, right? But there are a lot of websites where you can actually spend your Bitcoin, right? They will accept Bitcoin. They'll give you an address and you send them the Bitcoin to make your purchase, right? So yes, you can move your Bitcoin in and out of the wallet. Let's see here. Like a crypto debit. I think Ledger and Exim have on-ramps then, hopefully. Yeah, there's other ways to, I don't have my wallet down here, but if you're using crypto.com, that's a good picture of my daughter. If you're using crypto.com and you want to spend some of your Bitcoin or any other asset, then you can do a top up of your card. So in the scenario where I have the Bitcoin in my Ledger wallet, I would transfer the Bitcoin, make a deposit to my account, right? I could share this address with myself if I wanted to. Oops. Right. And now I have the address. Oh, you're kidding me. Oh, Apple, Apple, Apple. How could you? Okay. Now it's going to want me to... Is it? Is it going to let me in? Or is it going to make me do the two-factor? Oh, okay. All right, so there's the Bitcoin address I just emailed to myself. All right, I can take this Bitcoin address and copy it into my clipboard and then go over to my Bitcoin wallet and do a send over to the address of my crypto.com account, right? And once I've done that, whatever amount I want to send, the Bitcoin will be in my crypto.com account. And once the Bitcoin is in my crypto.com account, then I can do a top up of the card, right? I can top up the card and I can choose to use Bitcoin to top up the card. So if I put that $150 worth of Bitcoin in my crypto.com account, I can easily top up my crypto.com Metal Visa card and then run into the store and spend the money right away, right? That, to me, is the quickest conversion from Bitcoin to cash, right? Because even with Coinbase, if I make my deposit on Coinbase of Bitcoin, sell it for US dollar, and then withdraw to my bank account, that takes a few hours, right? Unless I want to pay fees and do an instant, and that gets expensive, right? You got $1,000 and you got to pay like $15 to get it transferred to your bank. So I prefer to just do the regular withdrawal, but that takes a few hours. It's free, but it takes a few hours. With Crypto.com and the Metal Visa card, I can immediately top up the card and go make a purchase or go to an ATM. I believe you can do the same thing with the Coinbase card too. There's also a Coinbase secured debit card too. You can do the same thing. Just transfer to Coinbase, sell your crypto, and then I don't know. I don't use their Coinbase card that often, but I know there's a way. You transfer it into the card balance. Right. So quick, easy cash outs. I think that's what we're talking about tonight. Yeah, I think someone was asking about using Ledger to cash out or using Ledger to trade. It's not really happening right, just in your wallet. Ledger, even when you use swap, when you're swapping your own tokens that are, in your wallet, you're actually using third-party services, right? You have to use these third-party people. So you're not really like just swapping crypto for crypto within your own wallet. They want you to think you are, but you're not. This is just like Coinbase or Binance US. These are exchanges, right? It's just kind of happening under the hood. And when you use these, you have to go through KYC, right? You're going to have to provide ID and maybe a selfie or whatever. So it's not like anonymously swapping crypto in your own wallet. What's the difference between public key and address? Why do we need both? Don't they do the same thing? Not quite. So when you create a Bitcoin wallet, there's a private key, and that private key is stored on the Ledger device, right? You never see that. Right? It's stored on the device. The only interaction you have with it is the buttons, right? Where you go through those confirmation screens. But the private key stays on the device and does some cryptographic magic when you authorize outgoing transactions. Now, the public key is let's say we'll start with the private key is a really long number. The public key can be derived from the private key by way of mathematics, right? So every wallet has a private key and a public key. But your question was, what's the difference between the public key and the address? Well, when I do a receive, it generates this sending address. Now, the sending address is not the public key. The public key generates new sending addresses, but you never give out your public key to someone to send you Bitcoin. They're not the exact same thing, right? Also, each time you make transfers into the wallet and you do new receives, this sending address is different every time. So when we create a wallet from a private key, generate that public key can generate almost an infinite number of new sending addresses. Ethereum doesn't do that. But the Ethereum sending address is always the same. But Bitcoin generates brand new addresses. But it's not the same thing. Let me give you a little diagram here. Try not to mute this mic. The diagram is from Mastering Bitcoin. And when I talk about Bitcoin, most of what I say about Bitcoin applies to other cryptocurrencies too. Let's see. Keys and addresses. Is this it? Okay. Here. So, as I mentioned, a wallet starts with a private key, which is a really long number, and we call that K, right? We're in math class now. Now, elliptic curve multiplication is kind of a cryptographic transformation that derives this big K. That's our public key, right? But notice that that function does not go backward. That is the security of public-private key encryption, is that this function does not go backward. The only way to find the private key from the public key is brute force, which takes, we talked about this before, thousands, if not millions of years of high-speed, high-powered computer. It's not, the current computers are not capable of doing it in a reasonable amount of time. And so it's designated as a non-thing, right? It's a cannot go backwards. So we got the private key, the public key. Now watch this hashing function, which is not quite as complicated as this, derives these addresses or public addresses, right? So no one really, you don't really give out your public key. Your public key is used when you sign transactions to verify you're the owner of the wallet, but it's not seen as the outward facing address of your Bitcoin wallet, right? Private key, public key, and a bunch of derivable addresses. And with Ethereum, it works the same way, except Ethereum always gives out the same address. It doesn't generate multiple addresses. Okay, so hopefully that answered Omar's question. I know. Let's see. I wanted to cover a few other things tonight. We did the app issues. This is one of my pet peeves. I'm not mad at this person or anything, but I get this sentiment a lot. As you know, I advocate keeping your Ledger device completely up to date at all times. Whenever it asks you to update it, update it. Whenever Ledger Live needs an update, update Ledger Live. Whenever you need an app update, update your apps. Whenever you need a firmware update, update your firmware. Don't be afraid to update your firmware. Now, this user, one of my viewers, and I appreciate him viewing my videos, says, don't update always. It literally killed me. I'm not trying to, I just cut and pasted it. So a little bit of misspelling here, because I don't have Windows 10. New version 2.51 doesn't support old. All right. Did I make it back? Am I back? I think I'm back. Yeah. I looked over and I noticed that the video had frozen on me. So I just had to reboot OBS Studio. But it wouldn't quit on me gracefully. So first I tried to stop streaming, it wouldn't stop streaming. Then I tried to quit and it wouldn't quit. So I had to go to Task Manager and end process. And then after I relaunched OBS, it came back. So I think I'm okay. All right. Cancel. Okay. So the commenter was saying, look, don't always update because it broke me, right? Well, take a look at why it broke him. Because he doesn't have Windows 10. Well, I did a bit of research. Windows 10 came out in 2015. So that's 7 years ago. And so you're not using the latest OS. You have a 7-year-old computer. If you're going to get into crypto, you should probably make sure that you've got a decent computer running a reasonably current version of the operating system, right? If you're limping along on a little clunker with, a 7-year-old computer that's not running Windows 10, then yeah, you're going to have issues. So my thing is always stay up to date. But he does make a good point, right? Look at what your situation is. If you can't afford a new computer, I get it, right? Money is money. And you might want to be cognizant that, like, okay, this latest update isn't going to be compatible because you're using Windows 7 or whatever, right? But really, the solution here is you can upgrade to a new computer or update your operating system. It's just part of keeping yourself in tip-top shape, right? If you're going to be dealing in crypto, you'll want a reasonable machine to do it. Or just if you want to use your phone, I guess. Pretty much everybody has a phone. But stay up to date, and you'll be error free, mostly. Even that, right? Cannot afford a new computer, shouldn't be buying crypto. Scott makes a good point, right? Yeah, I get a lot of people that they can't afford a ledger. They say, oh, I can't afford a ledger device. I'm like, okay, but you can afford crypto, right? So you only have $100 worth of Bitcoin and you can't afford a ledger device. Okay. But if you got $5,000 worth of crypto in your portfolio, then it would behoove you to get yourself a hardware wallet and run down to Best Buy and check their open box laptops and get yourself a $300 laptop that's running Windows 10 or 11. It's not that hard. Anyway, I just wanted to bring that up because people, staying up to date is important in crypto. Now, I wanted to just kind of talk about this fake NFTs. I have been dealing with crypto for a while now, so I'm kind of jaded, and I see things that I know I can ignore, but a lot of people don't realize that. So I just wanted to touch on this real fast, or not real fast, but I wanted to just cover this. If you look in my Polygon wallet, I have a Polygon account here. You'll notice that I have some NFTs in here. Like if you go to my portfolio, the last operations were on 12/28. I received 2 NFTs from Polygon Main. Oh, I guess I have 2 Polygon accounts. Okay, whatever. Every single NFT in my Polygon account is unsolicited. I didn't buy them. I didn't ask for them. They were just airdropped into my wallet. They are all scams, right? Nobody just gives you valuable NFTs, right? What they're trying to do is get you to try to sell it, right? So if you go onto a site, connect your wallet, and then try to sell it, the smart contract of this NFT is such that it's impossible to sell it, but you could open your wallet up to a hack by using the NFT. And that's just a possibility. Just the fact that it's in the wallet is not going to allow someone to drain my wallet. It's when I attempt to use it. It's when I attempt to go on, connect my wallet to a NFT trading site and attempt to try to use this NFT, sell it or transfer it or whatever. So they're not going to harm anything. Just leave them there. Just ignore them. I know it's kind of irritating if you're kind of tidy like I am. I think you can hide them. Yeah, you can just hide them. Right? So you don't have to see them. But if you did not buy it, don't think that it's like, oh, I just hit the jackpot. Someone accidentally sent me, a $3,000 NFT. No, doesn't happen, right? I hate to be the bearer of bad news or bring everybody down to reality here, but people aren't just sending out valuable NFTs for no reason. Now, if you signed up for an airdrop, with some, and you were expecting it, that's something different. My God, there's a lot in there, right? My God. Oh my God. It's like I could be doing this all night, right? I've had this wallet forever. Oh my God. Is it ever going to end? Oh my God. I didn't realize I had this many of them. This is because I don't care. I don't look at them. Okay. Oh, we're finally down to the last 4. 3, 2, 1. Okay. There we go. Now, if you buy them, that's different. Also, look, it happens in Ethereum wallets too. We'll look over here. These are mine. I bought these. This was from the Ledger Market. But this one, I didn't ask for this one. It just like showed up one day, unannounced. So I can hide it. But I guess the point that I'm trying to drive home is that they will not hurt anything if you just ignore them. And you can hide them in Ledger Live. They're not going to hurt anything. The only way that they could be a problem for you is if you try to interact with them. And even that's not a guarantee you're going to get hacked. It's kind of a phishing scam, right? They want you to think, oh my God, this thing's valuable. And then maybe you go try to buy more of them, right? Or you try to sell it and then you expose your wallet or whatever. So yeah, you can safely ignore random NFTs in your wallet. They're not going to hurt anything. Another thing I wanted to bring up, we talked about this 2 weeks ago, but I get a lot of questions and comments and emails from people who have lost crypto because they sent their crypto to the wrong type of chain. And the reason that they're doing this is that they go onto an exchange and they decide that they want to make a withdrawal. I don't really have it here. I'm going to do the best I can. Okay. Let's say they're trying to withdraw US dollar coin, right? They have a bunch of US dollar coin. And they're trying to withdraw to their wallet. And they choose, the default is ERC20. And they're trying to put it in an Ethereum wallet. So this is the correct configuration. And so they get their Ethereum address, and I'm not going to be able to go to the next screen either because I don't have anything in this wallet. I don't have any enough. Yeah, I can't even. Oh, yeah, there's not enough. See, it's not high enough. But they go to the next screen and then they see the withdrawal fee and they cringe and they say, oh my God, I'm trying to withdraw $100 worth of US dollar coin and it's going to charge me $5. So then they start playing around. They go, oh, what's this? What's this network? Oh, wait a minute. If I use the AVXC chain, it's only going to cost me 7 cents. Well, that's much better, right? And so they withdraw their, let's say it's $500 worth of, well, it never shows up in their Ethereum wallet because it's on the wrong chain. Now, you can configure your wallet in MetaMask to reveal whatever's on the AVXC chain. But you have to be adept. You have to know what you're doing, right? So if I try to send it to my Ledger device on the AVXC chain, it's not going to show up in Ledger Live, right? And then they what happened? I lost my crypto. Help me get it back. I got screwed by Binance. I go, well, not really. Binance didn't do anything to you. They just allowed you to hang yourself by being a cheapskate. So this little tip here is don't withdraw crypto using alternate chains if you don't know what you're doing. All right? If you're just basing your withdraw on the price and you don't even know what the AVX chain is, then, you end up losing your crypto because you don't know how to access the AVXC chain. Another thing that could prevent these types of scenarios is that you should always do a small test transaction first to make sure it's going to get where you're sending it. So I have so many sob stories about people who just withdraw the entire amount, be it $500, $1,000, $1,500, $10,000 worth of crypto without even doing a test transaction. And then it goes to the wrong chain or the wrong wallet, and now I'm broke because I didn't know what I was doing. So educate yourself and don't be afraid to rely on yourself. But please, most of these sad stories can be prevented by doing small test transactions. I cannot stress enough that you should always do a small test. I still do it sometimes, depending on the situation. If it's a brand new wallet I've never withdrawn from or a new exchange or whatever, I always do that small test first, just to make sure that it's going to get where I'm trying to get it before I withdraw it all. Right? Don't just go in all or nothing, especially if you're new to crypto and you don't know what's going on. Polygon has both Matic ERC20 version and its mainnet Matic token, so you can store in an Ethereum account. Make sure you specify the correct network. Yes, I get that scenario a lot with Polygon. However, I think we did this last week. With Ledger Live, if you choose to withdraw using Polygon, and where is my mouse? Oh, okay. If you choose to withdraw your Polygon on the Polygon network, and you're over here in your Ethereum wallet waiting for it to show up, I don't think I have any Matic in my... But yeah, there is an ERC20 version of Matic, right? This is the ERC20 version of Matic that you see in your Ethereum wallet. If you're waiting for that Polygon to show up in your Ethereum wallet and it doesn't, in Ledger Live, you can add a Polygon account, right? A native Matic account. As you can see, I have one here. And if you accidentally send Polygon to your Ledger wallet, your Ethereum Ledger wallet, using Polygon, you can install the Polygon account, a Polygon account, and see it, right? So if it's Polygon, Ledger Live can see both, right? Ledger Live can't see AVXC chain, but you can do it in MetaMask if you're adept. But some people choose obscure chains that are a little difficult to deal with. Like, I think KuCoin gives you the ability to withdraw from, let's see if I can do Tether. I think, see, they have several, see how many networks that KuCoin will allow you to withdraw on. Like, this is Tether, but you could withdraw it on Ethereum, the Tron TRC20. They have their own chain, KCC. You could withdraw Tether on the Solana chain, the Algo chain, the EOS chain, the Arbitrum chain, right? So, and they show you the fees here. So, oh yeah, who wants to pay $24.98 when I could do it cheaper on the TRX network? It's only 99 cents. The problem is you have to know what the TRX network is and how to access those stable coins using a Tron wallet, right? Most people don't know that. They're just looking at these fees. Oh, here's one, KCC, that's only 9 cents. Or Algorand, right? So know what you're doing. And if you're not sure of yourself, do that small test. If you lose $5, you lose $5. And then you know better. You're like, oh, okay. Saving money is going to cost me all of it if I'm not careful. All right. Bite the bullet and use Ethereum if you don't know. Right. And if you're like, oh, well, I want to learn how to do this cheaper and faster, then learn it. Right. Don't just like go into the withdraw options and choose the cheapest one, not knowing where it's going to go. That happens a lot. Believe me, it happens a lot. Let's see. CryptoDad is the best explainer, best tutorials ever, maybe because he's a teacher. And it's great also to have such a kind support as well. Thanks a lot. No problem, Art Drubbo. You mean to have less accounts for each crypto on cold wallets is better option. Thank you. Oh, let's see. I want to see what his original question was. Should I give each account separately or have a... Oh, okay. Yeah, you can create multiple Bitcoin wallets. If you'll notice, I've got several, right? I've got a Bitcoin affiliate wallet where I get affiliate payments. I got a main account that I kind of use for different stuff. I have another one that's on a different device. This is like one we did a while back. But you can maintain multiple Bitcoin accounts using the same device, right? But you don't have to. And if you've got three different exchanges, if you've got three different exchanges, you don't need to keep the Bitcoin in separate wallets for each exchange, right? I don't need a Bitcoin wallet for my KuCoin Bitcoin. I don't need a separate Bitcoin for my Coinbase Bitcoin. It can all be managed in one wallet, right? And you can even keep track of it, right? Because you can check your exchange transaction history to know what you sent when, and for tax purposes, if that's what you've got worried about. But there's no reason to maintain multiple Bitcoin wallets just because you've got multiple Bitcoin coming in from different places, right? You just dump it all into the same Bitcoin wallet. Keep it simple. Right? There's no reason to separate them. The problem is I lost $5, but I still don't know the right way to do it. Yeah, that's true. But the point is you only lost $5 and not $1,000, right? But I have lots of videos on how to use these different chains, right? One of the main methods for accessing the multiple chains is the MetaMask wallet. If we go into MetaMask and we switch over to one of my Ledger-based accounts, right? This account is based on my Ledger device. If we're over in Ledger Live, we can see the exact same account. Now, how did this happen? Well, I went into MetaMask and I said, connect hardware wallet, right? So basically, MetaMask is doing the same job as Ledger Live. It can access my device, the public-facing part of my wallets, and display that information for me within MetaMask. But, so, am I on the wrong? Oh, I switched accounts. Sorry. So you can see there that this account has the same balance as this account, right? Exact same wallet, exact same tokens, right? That Tether, that Chainlink, I can see them all here. Where's that Tether? There's that Tether, right? There's a bunch of Tether in there. I can see it in MetaMask. But the beauty of MetaMask is that I can configure multiple chains, right? If I had sent some on the Polygon chain, right, I can just switch networks in MetaMask. So if you learn how to use MetaMask, you can use those cheaper chains if that's your intention, right? You want to, okay, well, I want to store my Tether in Polygon format because it's cheaper than using ERC20 Tether. I get it, right? So you can configure Polygon in MetaMask, right? Well, how do you do that? Well, you go to MetaMask and you go to settings and then you go to networks and then you can add a new network to your wallet so that you can manage that other chain, right? You need to have all this information. So it's not trivial, right? Now some of it is built in, like Aurora, Harmony, and Palm are built into MetaMask. But there's also a website called Chainlist that you can do this automatically, right? So let's see. Let's try Gnosis. I don't think I've added that before, right? You click, once you've connected your MetaMask, it'll fill all that information in for you. So it can be done, right? If you're using MetaMask to manage and of course there's nothing in my Gnosis wallet, but if you're using MetaMask to manage your Ledger-based wallets, which you can do very easily by using the Connect hardware, and then you have the option of using these other networks to manage your crypto. It's just a little more advanced than Ledger Live. Most people that own a Ledger are Ledger Live centric. I get it, right? If you don't know anything about crypto and you buy a Ledger, then you tend to look to Ledger Live to meet all of your needs, right? But Ledger Live has its limitations, right? It doesn't support all of those chains out there that you might accidentally use or you might want to use because the fees are cheaper, right? So a MetaMask is a good option, right? MetaMask is a very versatile, flexible wallet. You can use MetaMask to manage standalone wallets, right? Just a wallet that I created in MetaMask. Or I can manage Ledger-based accounts in MetaMask, right? I can also manage Trezor, my Trezor device, in MetaMask, right? Let's go back here and see if there's anything on there, right? See, there's some Ethereum and some chills on my Trezor device that I can manage using MetaMask, right? So MetaMask is really a good, powerful, flexible wallet. And some people say, oh, it's not very secure. Well, it can be just as secure as Ledger Live if you're connecting your hardware devices to it, right? There's nothing dangerous about using MetaMask to manage your Ledger device, right? Because the security is still there, right? The Ledger device is a very versatile, secure device. It doesn't have to be used with Ledger Live. You can use all kinds of third-party wallets and still enjoy the security of the device. Connected my Ledger to MetaMask. Okay, so let's let's go here. Let's see. The best one, which is fairly recent, is this one. How to secure your MetaMask accounts using a Ledger Nano hardware wallet. And I think I cover multiple chains, some of them. Right? So that's a good place to start. You can check out that video. That's the whole, how do I connect my Ledger device to MetaMask, right? And I also have another one that's where'd it go? Oh, how to connect your Trezor device to MetaMask, right? Right. And then I have a lot of just tips and tricks for using MetaMask with a device. The consensus privacy issue, reinstall MetaMask on a new computer, how to purchase NFTs on OpenSea using MetaMask, how to avoid scams, that kind of stuff. So I have a whole bunch of videos on like dealing with these issues and how to set up multiple chains, right? So I'm not saying not to use multiple chains. I'm saying don't use them just because you see them that it's cheaper to withdraw using a chain you know nothing about, right? You see a chain on a cryptocurrency exchange and you're like, wow, that's cheap. How do I got to do some research into that. Do the research, right? And sure, I haven't even covered Tron, but and I'm not sure why they're not allowing Binance Smart Chain right now. But Binance Smart Chain is really cheap and fast too. In Solana. Yeah, just make sure you educate yourself before you jump into this stuff. My videos can help you out with that if you need to. And yes, you need ETH on MetaMask. Also, if you're using alternate chains, right? For example, if I'm using Binance Smart Chain, I'm just going to pick a wallet that has a balance in it. Where'd it go? Oh, here. If I want to make trades or transfers from this wallet on the Binance Smart Chain network, I need BNB coin, not Ethereum. The BNB coin is responsible for the fees in a Binance Smart Chain wallet. The same goes for a Polygon wallet. If I want to use a Polygon-based wallet, then the Matic is what handles the fees. So I need Matic in the wallet to cover my fees. So just keep that in mind too when you're using these alternate chains. The same with Avalanche, right? If I want to use my Avalanche-based wallet using the Avalanche C chain, I need to have some AVAX token in there to cover my fees. All right. Oh, look, my Joe is worth 136 bucks. Oh, see, sometimes you forget. Thanks for being with you guys tonight. I'll let you get on with your New Year's Eve. Drive safe. If you drink, get a ride, or just stay home if you want to drink home. I hope that you all have a healthy and happy and safe New Year's Eve. We've got about, 3 more hours here? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 4 more hours here before New Year's on the East Coast time. So enjoy the rest of your evening and ring in the brand new year. And I'll make it my New Year's resolution to not lose sound, right? Got to figure that one out. All right. Thank you, JDO and Dan, for being here. Dan's must be watching the game, but also keeping an eye on my stream. Thank you, Dan, for giving me the heads up when I had some issues. I really appreciate it. Thanks for everyone being here. And I will see you guys next week for sure. At 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please join me again for the live stream from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. Hope to see you there. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that you can click that will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new content. Once again, thanks for joining me and hope to see you again soon.